firm. I am looking forward to um, getting a better role, in a better place, in a better law firm, and I just want to know how I could go about it, how the lessons I would learn from this meeting would help me in application because I'm currently looking for how to move forward in my career and move forward to a better place. So I hope to learn things that would help me to be able to do that in the job market. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Thank you very much, Joy. It's nice to meet you. And please, this is as much as this is a live session that I would be teaching, this is also a mentorship session. So please note down all your questions that you might have and so that I can answer them. That is why we are here. All right. Favor, please, you can go ahead. I'd like to meet you.
Okay, good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lovisi Favor. I'm a public health professional with great interest in data management, data analysis, and also research. So the reason why I am here currently is just like the title of the webinar, Why Am I Not Getting Hired? Just like you said, we are seeking out for a better job options in career. So I would love to learn the important things that could help me in landing my next job, so to say, next stable job. So I hope to get that from this meeting today. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Gloria.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, ma'am. My name is Gloria Basil, and I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business person, but then again, I'm looking at working with hospitality organizations. So I'm here to actually learn how to position myself to be able to work with organizations in the hospitality industry properly.
Okay. Thank you so much, Gloria. Do we have any other person here? Okay, we have Precious here. Precious, would you like to introduce yourself? Precious, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning, ma. Good morning, everybody. My name is Precious Ikama. I'm into communications, and I'm looking to transition into full communications. So that is what I'm working on. So I'm joining to learn how to position myself better, and I'm also looking to get remote jobs, so to be hired remotely. So I'm looking forward to learning that also. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone that has joined. This meeting is also live streaming on YouTube as well. So if you know anybody that's maybe they don't have the Zoom app and they'd like to live stream on the YouTube, please, I just shared the link on the Growth Circle group so we can share it with them. Okay, so welcome everyone once again. My name is Eniola Peters, and I am a career development consultant. And one of the greatest passion, or one of the things that drives me really is seeing people become the best version of themselves. I don't like it when I meet people that don't know what they're doing. It always hurts me so bad. Like, why can't we just, get to do it and do it well? Okay. And that, so if you see me do a lot of things, have these sessions for free, That's the major reason. That's my why. Okay. So that's why I do what I do. So today we are going to be talking about answering the questions, why am I not getting hired? I get a lot of people asking me things like, but ma, I have applied to 1 million roles. Why are people not calling me back? Or I have been to 1,000 interviews. Nobody is calling me back. I'm not getting the job. Or things like, oh, they called me to get the offer, but the offer was too low. I can't even take it because what they're offering me is not even up to my transport. I get so many things. And I feel like most of us don't even know why we are applying for jobs. We just feel, maybe we feel like, oh, after secondary school, university, then after university, the next appropriate thing or the next ideal thing is to get a job. But I would say that the first thing is not just getting a job. The first thing is self-awareness. So you're in university, are you self-aware enough to know what you really want to do? Now, so once you know what you really want to do, you're able to um know how to go about it. But because most people don't know what they want to do, they don't know how to go about it. So I want us to run a quick poll now. If you have applied for, if you are here and you have applied for over 20 jobs, please can you raise your hand in the comments? If you have applied and applied and applied and applied, let's say for over 20 jobs, and you've never gotten a feedback, comments please. Please can we make this? Okay, yes, favor. If you have attended interviews but you have never gotten an offer, like over, you've attended 1 million interviews and then you're not getting an offer. Anybody here? Anybody here? Or maybe you're beginning to lose confidence in this job application thing, like you're getting tired, like we are just applying. We're not getting, nobody's calling us back, nothing is happening. Please raise your hand. Favor says, I'm tired of applying. I know it is so tiring, to be honest. It is so tiring. And to be honest, you're not alone. But not like I'm bragging. I can easily tell you that I have never applied for a job that I didn't get. And I've never applied up to 20 jobs in my entire years of experience, which I have about 17 years of experience right now. I have never applied for a job that I didn't get, and I've not applied for up to 20 jobs. Now, I'm going to be sharing the why along the way, but I need you to pick up the lessons as much as as I speak, because I speak and I expect that you catch your lessons. And please, like I said, this is a very interactive session, so please share your questions and whatever it is that you want to ask, please ask. Is a mentorship session. So now the reality we are faced with right now is that getting hired is not about your degree. It is not about the course of study in university. It is not about your degree. It's about the value you offer, the skills you currently have, the past results that you can boast of, your problem solving skill, and the professionalism that you exude, and your cultural fit. I've interviewed so many people in the past, and all they have is their SSC, BSc degree, and they don't even understand what skills mean. They don't understand what value is. They don't understand what it means to have to be a problem solver. I asked I asked one person I was interviewing one day, and I said, he wrote on his CV, said problem solving skills. I said, okay, can you tell me about a problem that you solved? And then it was telling me about what's it called, conflict resolution instead of problem solving. Yeah, they are different, because a problem solver identifies a problem and solves it. Conflict resolution sees they're fighting, and then he comes in between to settle their fight. They are two different things. So he doesn't even know, he didn't even know what it means to be a problem solver. And so many of us are like that. We're applying for roles and we are not even able to identify our skills. What skills do I have? Now, I'm going to ask everyone here. You might not necessarily need to share it here, but ask yourself, what skills do I have to get hired, to get the job that I am looking for? What skills do I have? What is my value? Like, am I valuable? Do you understand? Am I valuable? What's called, am I a professional? Now, most of us, we grew up in a house. Most of these skills are what they call the soft skills, and they are innate abilities. They are not technical skills that you have to go to school to learn. To solve a problem, it's your mental capacity. You already know how to identify a problem and solve it. To be professional, to get to work early, to be interested. They ask you to come for interview, you're looking all shabby and sloppy because you're like, is it not just to enter and just talk? Sometimes we need to understand. Then also the culture fit. We're applying to 1 million places, the one that fits you, or the one that doesn't fit you, the one you want, or the one you don't want, the one you don't even know if you want or not. You're just applying and applying and applying, but you're just thinking, maybe I went to school. I've gotten so many calls. You just hear, hello, is this Med Consult? Say yes, please, I'm looking for a job. I'm like, okay, what kind of job? And they say anything. How many of us have done that here? Anything is not a job. That is where self-awareness comes in. And like I said, the moment you're leaving school, the first thing is self-awareness. Am I self-aware enough to know the kind of job that I am going to do? Do I know if I want to work in a 9 to 5 or have a business? Do I want to work with somebody of flexibility, or what exactly do I want? Now, I'm going to share a story of how I started my first job. Now, what's it called? I thought I wanted to work in a bank. So I was always asking everybody, I want to work in a bank. I want to work in a bank. I want to work in a bank. And then, like they say now, the words of your mouth are powerful. And then one day I met a guy, and the guy said, what kind of work do you want? I said, I want to work in a bank. And he says, okay, yeah, that's fine. And then like a few days later, he called me and said, oh, he got me a job at the microfinance bank. And that was when it hit me that I don't want to work in a bank. I'm like, I don't want to work in a bank. I don't want to work in a place where, I'm just going to be there from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., get home 10 p.m. I will not have a life of my own. And I was now self-aware to understand, I was self-aware enough to understand that I don't like stress. So don't stress me. I don't want to work late in the night. I don't want to, I just don't want, I want to be able to control my time. Yes. That was when I realized that was actually the thing. I wanted to control my time. And so I rejected the bank offer, and then I gave it to a friend of mine. I asked the guy, I said, is it really sure? He said, yes. So I called a friend and I said, do you want to work in a bank? And she's like, of course. So that was my first recruitment. I gave her the job. I just told her, oh, they're expecting an Eniola. So just go to the bank, mention Eniola Coca. And when they ask you for your CV, give them your CV and tell them that Eniola rejected and she asked you to come and take it. And that's how she got the job. And then I felt good about it because I just gave somebody a job, made her a better person, even though I was still jobless. And that made me feel so special because I was like, what is this thing called? What is this thing called? And then I went online and then I saw that it called recruitment. And then I'm like, I want to do this. I want to help people get jobs. And that is how I knew what I wanted to do, because that it's okay to know what you don't want. Now, I want you all to also note it is okay to identify what you do not want, because what you don't want will lead you to knowing what you actually want. It is not enough, to go to school, to volunteer in some cases, to do one, two, three, four, five things. It is also enough to know what you do not want. Like, what are the things that I do not want? I cannot stand. Are you self-aware enough? I want you to do some self-awareness examination. Ask yourself, I'm applying for jobs. If I get this job, will I do it? Because most of us, we're just applying for the jobs. If I get this job, will I do it? Or will I resign in the next 2 weeks? We get a lot of hires that 2 weeks later, they're telling you they're tired, they're not interested. Why? Because they were not self-aware enough to understand the cultural fit. Because if you know yourself, you'll be able to know if you're going to be a culture fit with the organization you're coming into. There's so many things involved. It's not just about going on LinkedIn and dropping your application letter. It's not just about having a CV that you share round and round in circles. Because for hiring, when an organization wants to hire, an organization is also looking for so many things. So when an organization wants to hire, they first start with identifying a need. Oh, there's a need. We need to be more. Let me use social media, for example. And we need to be more on social media. So we need a social media manager, right? So they'll develop a job description. I'm telling you how it works inside so you can have an understanding. So they develop a job description and then they call out for applications. So the job description is what most of us see, and then we start to fashion our CV to look like the job description. It's so wrong. Now, then they start calling off applications, and then that's where you apply. You apply, you apply, you apply, and then they start screening the CV. Now, in the process of this screening, most of the times we see that one person, maybe let's say an organization posts 5 jobs: social media manager, admin manager, what's it called, secretary, project manager or something. One person would apply for the 5 roles. So when we are screening, I'm seeing this name here, I'm seeing this same name here, I'm seeing this same name here, and I'm like, doesn't this person know what they want? You can't just apply and be saying by faith it will come. I trust God. My God is a good God. My God loves me, so it's going to get me a job. Yes, no doubt your God loves you, but your God also is a God of principles, right? So we screen and then we shortlist. We shortlist to the CVs that look like it, and then we call for interview. So sometimes once the CV doesn't pass the shortlisting phase, we are not calling you for interview, right? So we'll call you for interview. So you see, you come in for interview, you do the interview, and then they ask you some major questions you're not able to answer, and you say, you're not getting the job and all that. So that is how the recruitment process works. That is how um, organizations, recruiters look out for people. Now, most times, for those of us here, like Favor said, that she's tired of applying for jobs. One thing I would say is, number one of the reasons you're not getting hired can be your CV. Maybe you're just using a generic CV. The second thing, like I just explained, could be that you're applying for every job. The third thing could be that you are not able to put your achievements into words. So the person looking at your CV is not able to see what you have done in the past. It could also be your LinkedIn profile is blank, no, nothing is there. So they're like, this person doesn't fit our profile. It could be lack of relevant skills, or maybe the inability to identify the skills that you have, because we all have the skills. So it's either you're not able to identify the skills you have, or you're not able to, or you don't have the relevant skills the organization needs. Now, or maybe you go for the interview and you didn't perform well. That could also be the reason you're not getting hired. Or maybe you're not networking enough. Maybe you're not networking enough, is why you're not getting hired. And maybe your social media is bad. I interviewed one lady recently. She was amazing. Like, I could have employed her on the spot. And then I just said, can I check your Instagram? And voila. The first post that I saw was a naked girl. I mean, if she had done due diligence and searched for the organization she's coming to work, she would have seen that I am a Christian. My values do not align with nakedness. So it's either she could have just decided not to come for the interview, or come for the interview and privatize Instagram, or just delete them. That's where culture fit comes in. And she had a very poor personal branding, because why are you naked outside? I don't know if you understand what I am saying. Please let me know if you understand. Then the other reason we're getting not getting hired could be that you're applying too late. You're seeing the applications late, or you're even seeing the interview invite late. I've heard so many cases of people say, "Oh, I didn't get the interview invite early." I'm like, why? You are looking for a job. Why are you not checking your emails? Every day you check your emails, you check your messages to be sure that there are no messages calling you for interview. And then the last thing that I would like to say, the reason we're not getting hired is that you're giving up too soon. I'm going to pause now, and I want to ask a question. Does anybody have any questions? Do you understand what I am saying? Are you getting confused, or you're getting clarity? Please, can you share? Can you respond, please?
It's well understood, but my question will be that if you've been able to cross your T's and dot your I's, just like you mentioned, and you're not still getting the offers, so where does the problem lie?
Okay, good. So when you're saying that you cross your T's and you dot your I's, now we need to sit down with your T's and your I's to know what exactly you're crossing and dotting. Because most times, right, we think we are actually crossing and dotting, but we are doing what we are not meant to do. So it could be a misalignment. That is why you are not getting the job. So it could be that you're not talking to the right people. It could be that you're not in the right circle. It could be that the job you're looking for is not what you actually really need. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So we need to sit and analyze, where are you applying? What are you doing? Are you volunteering? Are you choosing to intern? Are you looking for what is not, or are you actually on the right path? So another thing is that most times we need to understand that some of us need to start with internship. Some of us need to start by just interning for an organization, or volunteering for an organization for us to get the experience. Because as much as some people say, oh, there are no jobs, there are no jobs, there are no jobs, most people still get the job. So there are jobs. So if you're crossing your T's and you're dotting your I's, then we need to sit and ask you some very valid questions. Now, let me go to why your CV isn't selling you. I can ask you, I mean, we're not a lot on the call, so you guys can send me your CV and I can tell you what is wrong with your CV or not. Now, because for your CV, right, for the first 5 seconds glance, a recruiter already knows if she's going to employ you or not. So you would have to review your CV and ask yourself a question. If you were the recruiter, would you recruit yourself based on your CV? Now, the second reason is that you're applying randomly. Like I said, most times it's just, HR will just look at you and be like, nah, this person is not qualified. She's not ready. She's just applying, for everything and everyone. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, what are recruiters looking for? They're looking for competence. They're looking for culture fit. They're looking for character. They're looking for communication, confidence, coachability, consistency. And most of these things, they can't find it on your CV. They can only find it during interview. So they call you for an interview if your CV is sellable. Now you go for the interview. Most interview mistakes we make, we talk too much, or we don't answer well. They ask a question, you're not able to articulately answer the questions. You don't research the company, just like I just said. You don't research the company enough to know if the company is a culture fit or not. You're not confident, you're late, and then you don't ask questions. Yes, it's very important to ask questions while you're doing your interview. Very important. In fact, go with one or two questions. It shows interest. It shows that you are interested in what the organization has to offer. Now, what's it called? So, and then also networking. There's so many opportunities out here. I employ quite a number of people, and most times the opportunities are not out there. Sometimes it could even be you're overestimating yourself. You're a fresh graduate, and then you go for interviews, and then you're asking for 250 or 350,000 naira that they're paying managers. And a recruiter will just be like, no, this person doesn't want to work. So you need to understand how the industry works in Nigeria. How it works in Nigeria. So networking is important. LinkedIn, Indeed, yeah, I think Indeed.com, what's it called? And it's not just posting on LinkedIn, following HR people, following organizations, so that when they post their jobs, you're able to see it first. I don't know if you understand me, right? Now, join communities. I mean, we have WeCan, we always share opportunities on WeCan, then expand your network. So if you say you have just dotted your I's, crossed your T's, have you expanded your network? Or are you saying, oh, I'm tired of telling people that I'm looking for a job? It's not about telling 1 million people, it's about telling one right person that can position you to actually get your job, that will move you to the next phase. All right, let me continue. So, which one issue do you think you currently have? Now, this is a question that I'm asking you guys. Which one issue do you think you currently have? Is it with your CV? Is it with your LinkedIn? Is it with your skill? Is it with your what's it called? Interviews? Can you share with me, so that I can, like I said, this is a mentorship session, so that I can offer you maybe the next step or solution? Who would like to go first?
Okay, let me go
Okay.
first. I would say at this point, I don't know which challenge or which problem I'm having, because when it comes to CV, okay, let me begin with my CV. I don't use generic CVs. I create CV specific to the job role that I'm applying for within my industry, and also, or resume if they're requesting for resume. So as per my LinkedIn also, my LinkedIn is, I won't say fully active, but I'm present. So once I have some experiences, maybe I get some contract jobs, the experiences, I talk about it on LinkedIn, I engage on LinkedIn. But the interview part is, let's say out of 20 applications, I might get one on interview call. Out of, let's say, out of 20. So I might not likely get an interview call, or if being lucky, just one interview call. So I think, which other question did you ask now?
No, I think that covers it. Now that covers it. So Now I'm going to ask you a question. I'm looking at your CV now, right? From your CV, you're supposed to have like 4 years of working experience. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So now, but your CV is 4 pages. My CV, I've had over 15 years of experience, is 2 pages. So that's already number one, right? Now, number two, if I'm going to ask you, what would you call yourself? What is your core? What would you call yourself?
Okay, I'll call myself because let me say I have great strength when it comes to field work, field coordination, most especially when it comes to supervising and monitoring data. So I have great interest in monitoring and evaluation
Okay.
and research.
Now, you said you have monitoring, evaluation, and research. Now,
Yes.
your CV, work experience, data quality assurance officer, data collector, data entry clerk, training and technology administrator, LGA coordinator, data quality assurance officer, programs M&E, which was 2024. So the only M&E that you have on your CV is 2024. Now, when a recruiter is looking for an M&E, and I'm assuming that all the jobs that you're always applying for is M&E, right?
No,
Or
it cut across programs and M&E.
so there's nothing like data. So you're not
I
applying
also
for
apply
any.
for data. I also apply for data quality assurance positions too.
So when you get interviews, which roles do you get interviews for?
And the few interviews I've gotten so far, it's in programs.
It's in programs, right? Because
Yes.
nobody will call you for a monitoring and evaluation job. Why? Because your CV, the first one page doesn't capture any experience, skills, or anything at all that has to do with monitoring and evaluation. Now, that brings me to the focus part I was talking about. Your CV needs to have a focus. You, as an individual, need to have a focus. Let me tell you how it works, right? When you have a focus, you move faster than when you're trying this, trying that, trying that. So when you're trying this, you are expanding yourself. But when you have one focus and you stick to one thing, it is easier to travel faster, straight on a straight journey. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Now, looking
Yeah.
at your CV, I can't see any skills you have because you just wrote your professional summary and you said skilled in designing M&E frameworks. Okay, that's fine. But can you tell me the experience? I can't find any experience until page 3 of M&E, which means your CV is not it. I'm sorry to say. Your CV needs to be adjusted, and you don't need to have 5 CVs. You don't need to have one for what's it called, data, one for program, one for M&E. You need to have just one CV that captures your interest. So you're saying something like, oh, my name is Favor and I am an M&E professional, or I am an M&E officer. I'm enthusiastic about M&E. Under monitoring and evaluation, I have data analysis skills, I have project management skills, but my interest lies in M&E. Now, saying that alone, tell me who will not remember you for any M&E role. That is what your CV should say. So when they see your CV and you apply for an M&E role, they are interested. Like, okay, she has interest in M&E, she has experience in M&E, and we need an M&E officer. This is our person. Now you apply for an M&E role with this CV, they look at this CV and they're like, why is she applying for an M&E when all she's doing is data assurance? We don't need a data assurance officer. We need an M&E officer. So they won't call you. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
Exactly. So your CV, as much as you think, oh, your CV is okay right now, I'm sorry to say it is not. It needs to have a focus. You need to ask yourself, where do I see myself in the next 5 years? That is what they call career planning. Where do I see myself in the next 5 years? I see myself as a monitoring and evaluation professional, which means for me to be a professional in the next 5 years, I have to have started in that line right now. So I would edit my CV to just focus on monitoring and evaluation. Of course, the experiences will still be there, but the English will be coined in a way that monitoring and evaluation is so obvious. It's not a lie, but when you're doing data quality assurance, you're also a part of the monitoring and evaluation team. Am I correct?
Yes, ma.
So it is the English that needs to be tweaked to say, oh, I was an M&E stroke data quality assurance officer. I was an M&E stroke data collector. And then another thing I see on your CV is there are a lot of date discrepancies. Now you put 2025 to 2026 up, then down you put January 2026 to February 2026. An organization is wondering, why is she moving up and down? So if you're working for an organization, you can use the organization as the cap, and then you now say, under this organization, I worked with this project, because these things you're putting here are just projects, right? That you were involved in. 1 month project, what's it called? The malaria consortium LGA, whatever, is a 1 month project. So all those 1 month thing, they are not work experiences, they are projects that you were involved in, because we're looking at NGOs. You understand that NGOs work a lot with projects. So that also brings me to the awareness of the industry. Awareness, you have to be aware, you have to be well aware and educated of the industry you're going into, to think how they think, talk how they talk, so you have to be aware. So you need, when you're aware and you understand, you'll be able to package your CV in a way that the CV will first attract them to call you, and then when they call you, you are confident enough because you have studied, you have trained, you have done your research, and you're able to interview for it. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, ma, it does.
Good. So the work you have to do now, first of all, is do your research and ask yourself deep questions like, where do I see myself in the next 5 years? Okay, I want to be a monitoring and evaluation professional, which means by now I need to find my way into monitoring and evaluation. Can I search for monitoring and evaluation organizations? I mean, organizations that are looking for monitoring and evaluation roles, people that go on LinkedIn, talk to people, go to NGOs and say, I want to intern here, because the only experience that I have of M&E is internship. Please, can I intern here, or can I volunteer here as your M&E? You start from there, and then in bit by bit, till you become, then once you're in the organization, you can now start showing the skills you have, showing the knowledge you have, showing the ability, adaptability, the skills that they need, the culture fit. Then they'll now say, we can't do without this girl, let her stay. That is where it starts from. So it is not about the font, it's not about this, is that. It is about the focus. If I see this CV, if I'm looking, let's say you applied, I am the recruiter, and you applied for a data quality assurance or data collector or data analysis role, I'll consider you. But if I see that you are applying for a monitoring evaluation role, I won't get to page 3. By the time I'm checking page 1 and 2, I've already closed your CV. Why? Because it doesn't carry anything at all to do with M&E. And most of these organizations also use the ATS system. So the ATS system automatically, once they search for keywords and they can't find the keywords on your CV, they will delete your CV. So you will now be wondering, but I'm applying for these roles, this, that, and they're like, your CV did not even pass the first phase. So your CV needs the English, it needs the prepping, the formal, and should not be more than 2 years, because 2 pages, because you don't have that amount of years of experience that deserves the 4 pages. So first glance, I wouldn't proceed with your CV. So that is my own honest review, and I believe that you can work on the CV and then have a focus. Ask yourself, what is my focus? Because once you have that focus, you are going to shoot faster than if tomorrow now a data collector job comes, you take it because I'm tired of staying at home. Or if another job comes that you feel like I can do, and when I'm interviewing people, even when I see your CV, I still ask you questions. I try to gauge talents, like what can you do? Are you sure this is what you really want to do? Or do you want, another job? Is that clear? Do you have any questions you'd like to ask?
No, it's clear, ma. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. So if you still have any questions, we can still deal with that, but I need you to work on your CV. I need you to work on your focus. Are you on the weekend community?
Yes, ma, I just joined yesterday.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to show you both. I can see Lagos CV as well. Sorry, Joy Omotayo Olabisi. I can see your CV as well. You saved your CV name as Lagos. Please. Should I say it again? Please. Please, Joy Olabisi, please do not save your CV as Lagos. It shows that you have other CVs for other states. Save it with your full name. Now, I don't know the what's it called? Is it Microsoft Word that you use for your CV, or okay, it says you used Insta Resume. It is obvious that you used a resume what's it called app, which it's a 0 already. Now your CV is so clumsy and so I can't even figure out what it is. It's going to take me to calm down a little to be able to see your CV. You say you're a diligent legal practitioner called to the Nigerian bar, and you were called to bar when? GC, I'm really trying to sort out scroll through your CV. When were you called to bar? Joy, are you
2024.
okay? So it is not here. Your date of call to bar is not here. Your CV is too clumsy. The font is wrong. It's too clumsy. I can't even read through it. So you need to work on your CV. I'm telling you, I can't even read through it because it feels like a lot. Like you just get one thing, you just had it. You get one thing, you just had it. You get one thing, you just had it. Now, you have quite a number of experience, but I'm seeing, why am I seeing too many NYSC experiences? I've seen like 2 NYSC experiences. It's a lot. It's so clumsy, to be honest. Let me share a CV with you guys. Let me share my CV with you guys. So that because I know some of you are already asking, so what does a good CV look like? Not like I'm bragging or anything like that. Well, it's okay to brag. Okay, so let me share my screen. Can we all see my screen right now? Can you see? Okay. Window. Okay, good. Okay, so can you see my CV now? Hello. Okay. So you can see my CV screen, right? Okay, good. So you see my name, you see my address, you see what I do, you see my skills clearly stated out. Can you see? And then you see my accomplishments, right? My career achievements. Those are the most important thing based on my years of experience. And then you see my professional experience, and then you see my education, and then my skills. You see how clearly written out it is. Are you with me?
Yes, ma'am, I will see, ma'am.
Awesome. So you see how clearly written out it is. That is how a CV should capture you, because on the first page, the recruiter or the employer wants to know your name, who you are, what skills you have, and what you have done. So if your CV doesn't capture all that, then it needs to be worked on. Any question? Any question?
Yes, I do, ma.
Oh, please go ahead.
Okay, so when you were talking, the first few thank you very much for the insight so far and all this coaching session that you're taking out your time to give to us. Thank you so much. I really appreciate, Mark. I would want to comment and then ask questions based on the first few words you said, which is we finding our interest, like, first self-awareness, knowing exactly what to do, knowing exactly where you're going. You can't be everywhere. Okay, so for me, I think I'm having issues with that because my field is very broad. I don't know. I literally am finding it hard to probably I even need a special section because I do not I'm finding it hard to figure out which exact um which exact field or which exact um field of interest I would want to go in. And it's really a big problem for me because now I cannot just sit down back and say, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. Sometimes you don't like something because you don't know about it, you're not aware, you don't have information about it. So I don't know how to I don't know how to go through that part of finding exactly where I am, where I want to go, finding exactly where, because there are so many parts. The field is so broad. Honestly, I don't know at this point. I still don't know which path I want to go to, and I really, really think I need probably like someone to tell me like how do I go about this. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, Ma.
Okay, so you're the one in law, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. Okay, so let me ask you a very interesting question. When you were in school, what was your best course? Was it tort? Was it criminal law? Was it litigation? Was it which one again? Because I'm not a law student. I wasn't a law
Yes,
student.
I
I love
have
law.
quite a number, not
So
just
which
a
one was your
particular one.
favorite? Like, yes, even out of the quite a number, there's one that if you are sleeping and they wake you up, you would. Is it thoughts?
That
Is
would be
it
contract.
to contract? Amazing. You already have your answer. Now, the thing is that as a lawyer, you can do everything. Because one thing I've noticed is that most of you lawyers, at the end of the day, you want to go and have your law firm, and then you're looking for where the money is and all that.
Yes.
But you will now realize that it's when you remove your focus from money, right? Your eyes and your ear will get clearer. Contract to me is like small work, big money. I don't know if you've understood that yet, but the few people around me that I know that do contracts, they get small work. It's not just to put documents together and bind it by the law, and then people are paying millions for it. So as contract, you can work for a law firm, you can work for a land firm, you can work for a bank, you can work for anybody under contract. Under contract, you can function as a company secretary, legal company secretary. You can function as a what's it called? Even a litigation officer. Don't wonder
Yes.
why I know so much about law. I've just loved law. So you can see that you already have your answer, but most times we are running away from the answer because we feel like I still don't know. Contract, that small thing. Contract is so small now. I have people cashing out with contracts. Like I know people, they just sit in their house. When the document is due, they just send document and they are collecting millions. So if money is your motivation, you have money. If small work is your motivation, you have small work. Now, knowing that contract was your favorite, now you also need to now ask yourself, what kind of person am I? Am I the type that likes to work? I just want to work, 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 work. So this contract is like, I'm not working a lot. That's why I'm not sure this is because some of us we like work. So small work feels like is this what I have to do? Is this really what I have to do? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you
Yes,
understand what I'm
ma'am.
saying? So we like work too much. So that's why you are confused. Like, but contract is not a lot of work now. Do you want to be going to court? Under contract, you can still go to court. So that's the good thing about law. You can do everything, but have your focus. So that in the next 5 years, I want to see you as the top contract lawyer in Nigeria. So having a focus like that would now help you identify the courses you want to take, the masters you want to go for, the extension, that you want to do. Having that focus will help you do that. Does that make sense to you? Because when we're children, right, we used to hear when we're doing purpose and identifying what you like, who you are, we always go back to when we're a child and they'll ask you, what was that thing that you really wanted to do as a child? That's what you have to do now. Because as children, we really don't know what these things are, but God put it in us that this is what will help you become this person in the future. But because life happens, self-esteem, peer pressure, and all those things, we ignore these things and we're like, maybe this is not what I'm meant to be. Maybe this is not what I'm meant to be. But if you look deeply, that is exactly what you're meant to be. It might sound simple, but if you think and think and think on it, that is what you're meant to be. And that is what I'm telling you, you have to pursue right now. So in your organization, start poking your nose. Start looking for contract opportunities. Start looking for that opportunity where you're currently working. Start asking them, okay, can I help you to do this? So that you're gaining more experience, you're gaining more experience, you're gaining more skills, you're gaining more experience as you're poking your nose, as you're doing it, as you're doing that. After a while, you become a thought leader in that field, but have your focus.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm grateful.
I hope that helped you. Awesome. So, does anybody else have any other question? So I want us to think deeply now. I want to ask ourselves, okay, yes, I've talked about self-awareness, I've talked about a lot of things and all that, but ask yourself, what have I been doing that isn't working based on all these things that I mentioned? Ask yourself, what is this one thing that I have been doing that is not working, that has not made me get my job? I'd like to hear from us though. What is that one thing that we have been doing that wasn't or isn't working based on all that I have said right now? We're quiet though. Okay. If everybody is quiet, I guess that means that, okay, so lack of focus. Okay. Okay, so Favor says lack of focus. So what do you intend to change now? Exactly. Okay. So what do you think you want to change now, and how do you intend to do that? Thank you, Pagina. Yes, you need to get to know exactly what you want to do. So instead of moving, trying this, trying that, in fact, yes, redirect your skills and build strength in skills. Exactly. In fact, if you can identify the things you don't like, you cannot do, identify those things, then it will be easier for you to actually know what you can do or what you like to do. And opportunities always comes our way. It's not laziness if an opportunity comes your way and you decide not to do it. Yes, thank you, Precious. Lack of consistency and fear of taking risk. Amazing. Most of us are like that. We're just afraid. We're just afraid for nothing. And the fear is just what it is, fear. Okay, so this is what I'm going to end with. Let us position ourselves. Aha, fear of doing something new. This is a very important fear because please, it is what it is. Fear. It is, that's all fear is. Fear. It is not real, it's not tangible, it's not real, it's not tangible. It is what it is, fear. So please identify the areas that you know that these are the things that I cannot do, and then identify the areas that it looks like something that I can do. Think deeply that what are those things that if I'm sleeping like this and they wake me up and say, Precious, do this thing, I will do it without thinking. Stay there because that is your comfort zone. That is where you are meant to blow because you already have skills in that area. You already have knowledge, know-how in that area. You're already interested in that area. So nobody can take it away from you. And that is what you need to do to be able to get hired. So I'm going to tell us, position yourself. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Position yourself to become impossible to ignore. Work on your CV, work on your focus, work on your interest. Then employers and recruiters, they'll be looking for you up and down. They'll be saying, where has this person been all along? Do your research. Don't just go blinded. Do your research. Do your research. Okay? And that is how you get hired. It is not just about, it's not just about what's it called? It's not just about having the CV and just applying for everywhere. The next 1 month, don't be tempted to apply for everything. This next 1 month, I think you should use it and sit back and ask yourself, what do I really want to do? Let me start applying for opportunities in that area. Let me adjust my CV to fit. Let me look for internships or volunteer roles in that area and then go for it. So that, I mean, we spent 1 hour. Session is supposed to be for just 1 hour. So on that note, please, if you have any more questions, please share. But if no more questions, this will be the end of our session for today. Maybe we'll make this thing monthly so that we can always catch up and all. But on the weekend growth circle, we're going to be catching up. We're going to be asking questions. Please feel free to drop your questions. I'm always there. I'll respond to it. And like I said, I just want to mentor you to get your dream job, and you're going to get it and you're going to grow in it so that you can start paying me tight. So on that note, any other question? Any career questions, please? Okay.